You know, most villains have tragic origin stories. Some lose their families, others get betrayed by society. And then there's Vicky, the teenage babysitter from the Fairly OddParents who exists solely to make Timmy Turner's life miserable. But what if the real tragedy isn't Timmy's endless wish-based chaos, but Vicky's? Let's face it, if hell had a suburb, it would be called Dimmsdale, a pastel-colored nightmare where children command godlike beings. And teenagers like Vicky are paid in trauma and leftover pizza rolls. Every scream, every evil laugh, every psychotic breakdown. It's not just cartoon villainy. It's a cry for help disguised as sadism. Vicky doesn't need redemption. She needs a raise, a therapist, and about 3 years of uninterrupted silence. Because being Vicky means waking up every morning to the same alarm, the same brat, and the same collapsing sense of purpose, except this time, your job is emotionally torturing a child who can literally bend reality whenever he's bored. So yeah, welcome to the 9th circle of Nickelodeon, the life of Vicky, where every day is chaos, every paycheck is pain, and the only promotion you'll ever get is an aneurysm, because in Dimmsdale, evil isn't born, it's underpaid. So, who is Vicky? On paper, she's just a babysitter. A teenage girl with a ponytail, braces, and the emotional stability of a blender filled with caffeine and rage. In the world of the Fairly OddParents, she's the designated antagonist, the one you're supposed to hate. But peel back the layers of cartoon slapstick, and what you find is pure despair. Vicky isn't evil because she wants to be. She's evil because someone had to be. She's the punching bag of a universe designed to reward chaos and punish competence. Her parents? Nowhere. Her sister? A walking cry for help. And her only sense of control comes from yelling at a kid who, by the way, has literal fairy godparents. Imagine working a minimum wage job where your client can summon tornadoes, shapeshift, or erase you from existence. And you don't even get overtime pay. That's Vicky's life. A teenage girl trapped in an endless cycle of screaming, cleaning, and humiliation. She's not the villain of the story. She's the collateral damage of Timmy Turner's power fantasy. And yet, every episode paints her as the bad one, as if the show itself is gaslighting her. She's not a monster. She's a symptom of a world where responsibility is punished, and chaos gets a laugh track. So who is Vicky? She's every overworked teenager who ever hated their summer job, just animated, amplified, and permanently stuck in 2003. Picture this. The alarm clock goes off at 6 a.m., not because she has ambition, but because her life is a loop written by sadistic Nickelodeon writers who don't believe in weekends. Vicky rolls out of bed, eyes bloodshot, soul already tired. Another day, another round of babysitting Dimmsdale's most annoying child, and for what? A few dollars, maybe some leftover cereal, and the privilege of being emotionally destroyed by a 10-year-old with supernatural backup. The parents leave, like always, completely oblivious to the emotional warfare they've just unleashed. "Have fun, sweetie," they say. Yeah, she will. If by fun you mean slowly unraveling into madness while the universe bends against her will, in Dimmsdale, nothing ever makes sense. Walls explode, fish talk, gravity has commitment issues, and, through it all, there's Vicky, trying to maintain control with nothing but sarcasm, caffeine, and repressed trauma. Every time she tries to assert dominance, she gets sabotaged by magic she can't even perceive. She punishes Timmy for breaking something. Poof, it fixes itself. She takes away his toys. Suddenly, he has a castle made of them. At some point, you stop being the villain and start being the joke. Vicky's daily nightmare isn't the chaos around her. It's that no one acknowledges it. She's the only one sane enough to notice the world is broken, and everyone else just laughs. Let's be honest, Vicky isn't a villain. She's a warning every shout, every evil laugh, every twitch. It's not malice, it's exhaustion. She's the personification of every underpaid teenager who's ever said, "I hate my job," and meant it. In another world, Vicky would be the protagonist of a dark coming-of-age story, a girl trying to make ends meet while the universe gaslights her. But instead, She's a punchline in a kid's show. She lives in a psychological war zone. Objects move, kids fly, animals talk. And she's the only one who reacts like a normal person. You think she's angry for no reason? Imagine watching reality fold in half every day and being told you're the problem for noticing. Her rage isn't evil. It's rational. Every scream is a survival mechanism. Every insult is a cry for structure, and every laugh track that follows her pain is proof the system is broken. Maybe Vicky's not the villain after all. Maybe she's the last sane person in Dimmsdale, and no one's listening. In the Fairly OddParents, magic is supposed to make life better. A wish here, a sparkle there, instant happiness. Except if you're Vicky, for her magic isn't whimsical. It's cruel. It's the invisible hand of the universe flicking her in the forehead every time she tries to regain control. She's the only one without access to miracles. No wishes, no reset button, just stress and rage. Timmy can destroy the town and still get ice cream after. Vicky gets hit by a piano and clocks in again tomorrow. Every win is erased. Every scream is recycled. It's not bad luck. It's cosmic bullying. Imagine trying to build a life when reality keeps rewriting itself behind your back. You yell at a kid. He grows wings. You confiscate a toy. It turns into a dragon. You try to nap. The house explodes. It's like working retail. If retail occasionally violated the laws of physics, there's no escape, no end, just reruns. In Dimmsdale, magic doesn't save you. It keeps you trapped, smiling for the audience while you burn. Patient name, Vicky. Occupation, babysitter, dictator, emotional support villain. Symptoms, rage, sarcasm, caffeine dependency, and the creeping suspicion that reality is mocking her. Diagnosis, cartoon-induced burnout syndrome. Vicky isn't crazy. She's adapting. When the world keeps breaking the rules, sanity becomes optional. Every time she tries to control the chaos, she's humiliated. Every punishment becomes a magical prank. Every outburst gets a laugh track. She's not a villain. She's a reaction. At this point, she's not even human. She's a stress response in a ponytail. A walking, I hate my job. If she went to therapy, she'd just scream for 45 seconds straight. And honestly, that would be progress. Because underneath all the yelling and cruelty, there's a girl who never got a break, never got kindness, never got rest, so yeah, she's insane. But in Dimmsdale, insanity isn't a disorder. It's self-defense. Here's the truth. Vicky didn't become evil. She was sculpted into it by neglect, by boredom, by a world that laughed instead of listening. She's not the monster under Timmy's bed. She's the monster the world left outside the door. Every sarcastic grin, every maniacal laugh, it's armor. A loud, glitter-covered suit of armor to hide the exhaustion underneath. Nobody cares. Not her parents. Not the kids. Not the world that laughs at her pain. She's a teenage girl screaming into the void, and the void has a laugh track. Timmy gets magic for complaining. Vicky gets trauma for showing up. That's not comedy. That's adulthood. So yeah, she's angry. She's cruel. But deep down, she's just tired. Tired of pretending she's in control. Tired of being the villain. Tired of holding together a reality that keeps laughing as it falls apart. Vicky didn't destroy Dimmsdale. Dimmsdale destroyed her. And then made her the joke. In the end, Vicky isn't just a cartoon villain. She's a mirror, a reflection of what happens when cynicism becomes survival and cruelty becomes communication. We laugh at her. We quote her. We mimic her laugh. But we never realize she's the only one reacting appropriately, because if you were surrounded by talking fish, wish-granting fairies, and a kid who bends time because he's grounded, wouldn't you snap too? Vicky's not broken. She's just honest. She's what happens when someone finally says, "This is insane," and nobody listens. That's the joke. That's the tragedy. That's why we laugh, and because deep down, every adult who grew up with the Fairly OddParents knows we've all been Vicky at some point, underpaid, overworked, screaming into the void while the world sparkles with nonsense. The real magic of Dimmsdale isn't the fairies. It's the way suffering gets edited into comedy. Maybe the show was never about Timmy's wishes. Maybe it was always about Vicky's curse, and maybe that's why we can't stop laughing. Because in the end, laughing at Vicky is just laughing at ourselves, trying to survive a world that doesn't make sense. One sarcastic scream at a time,